Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving deep into a major legal storm that's currently rocking the South African political landscape. The Economic Freedom Fighters, or EFF, led by the firebrand Julius Malema, have once again found themselves in the headlines, this time not for their rallies, policies, or fiery speeches, but because of a whopping R15 million lawsuit filed against them by AfriForum. Yes, you heard that right, R15 million. Now before we get into the nitty-gritty, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's unpack this explosive development. So what's this all about? On April 16, 2025, AfriForum, a prominent civil rights organization in South Africa, took legal action against the EFF, accusing the party of inciting illegal land occupations and spreading racially charged rhetoric. According to AfriForum, these actions have done real damage, emotionally, financially, and socially, particularly to property owners and broader communities across the country. This lawsuit isn't coming out of nowhere either. It follows a long legal battle stretching back to 2017. That year, AfriForum secured an interdict preventing Julius Malema and the EFF from encouraging people to illegally occupy land. Since then, the courts, including the High Court, Supreme Court of Appeal, and even the Constitutional Court, have all ruled against the EFF's efforts to overturn that interdict. The message from the judiciary has been clear: encouraging illegal land grabs is against the law, full stop. And now, with the R15 million lawsuit, AfriForum is going for financial accountability too. AfriForum spokesperson Ernst Van Zyl didn't mince his words. He said the EFF's continued incitement and divisive racial commentary have had serious consequences, and that the lawsuit is meant to not only punish past behavior but also prevent similar actions in the future. Van Zyl argues that the rule of law has been undermined by the EFF's behavior and that enough is enough. Now, as expected, the EFF isn't taking this lying down. The party has dismissed the lawsuit entirely, saying it's nothing more than a political attack. They argue that their advocacy for land reform and economic justice is legitimate and rooted in the constitutional right to protest and demand transformation. For the EFF, the issue of land remains a fundamental question of justice and equality. They say that AfriForum is simply trying to protect the status quo, keeping land in the hands of the few while ignoring historical injustices that have left the majority dispossessed. This tug-of-war between the two organizations represents a broader ideological clash in South Africa, one between those calling for radical economic change, and those warning about the dangers of populism and lawlessness. And in the age of social media, it's not just playing out in courtrooms, it's playing out in real time on platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter. Reactions online have been explosive. Supporters of AfriForum cheered the lawsuit as long overdue. Some even went as far as mocking Julius Malema, with one user saying, "Julius Malema in tears." Another added, "Malema finally gets a taste of his own medicine." But of course, on the flip side, many EFF supporters were outraged, calling the legal move a distraction and a direct attack on the fight for land and justice in the country. Political analysts are watching closely. Many believe this case could set a major precedent. If AfriForum succeeds, it could seriously limit what political parties can say and do when it comes to contentious issues like land reform. It would draw a legal line around the difference between free political speech and incitement to break the law. That's a very fine line in South Africa's vibrant, often volatile political culture. And let's be honest, there's more at stake than just money. The lawsuit could affect the EFF's credibility and momentum heading into the next elections. It could also embolden other organizations to go after political figures through the courts instead of public debates. We are seeing a shift where legal tools are becoming weapons in political warfare. For Malema and the EFF, this could be a turning point. Will they continue to use radical rhetoric, or will the threat of financial penalties and legal consequences force a change in tone? Only time will tell. But here's the real question: what does this mean for the ordinary South African? For the person struggling with housing, unemployment, and inequality? Is this just a political sideshow, or is it a battle over the soul of South Africa's democracy? Let us know what you think in the comments. Should the EFF be held liable for the consequences of their rhetoric?